They traffic in the organs of the babies that are killed through abortion. Organs. So this isn't a clump of cells. These are organs. Your tax dollars. Next up is, something that's really not safe for children to hear about because it's just so awful. It's more documents from a lawsuit that we had filed against the HHS, FDA, showing purchases of fetal organs, heads, and tissue for a humanized mice project or investigations. The records are part of a series of records we've been getting over the last year or so, showing that the Food and Drug Administration was engaged in the trafficking of human tissue, fetal organs of babies killed through abortion. So these weren't miscarriages, and they got the permission from the family to use the remains of the unborn human being. This is material obtained through abortions, elective abortions, through a company called Advanced Bioscience Research, which evidently, according to documents, was the only company that engaged in this grotesque operation. And the documents show that, as I said, they were using them for humanized mice research. So we've been fighting for these records in court. The FDA didn't want to turn over some of the details, as you might imagine. So the court said, you have to turn over some of the details, including they wanted to hold from us the line item prices or price per organ the government paid to the company. And the court said, no, you can't do that. And the court also found, by the way, there's reason to question whether their transactions violated federal law barring the sale of fetal organs. So the law, and my understanding of the law is that it allows for the transfer of fetal organs for research, however barbaric it may be personally to me, as long as there's not a profit made, more or less. And it's pretty clear that's what was going on here. These were just ordinary commercial transactions, which seem to be barred by law. I mean, documents previously disclosed here, you may recall, this is the same material that we found where the requirement was that the fetal organs be produced fresh and never frozen, and they were being shipped on dry ice. Well, these documents are similarly bad. The FDA generated a contract with ABR based on a requisition it issued in July 2012 for $12,000 worth of tissue procurement for humanized mice. It indicates the requisition was a non-competitive award, meaning ABR was probably the only ones they could get to do it. And the justification says the scientists within the FDA and in the larger field of humanized mouse research have searched extensively over the past several years, and ABR is the only company in the US capable of supplying tissues suitable for humanized mice research. No other company or organization is capable of fulfilling the need. Costs are estimated for the fetal parts at $230 per tissue times 2 tissues per shipment equals $460 plus $95 shipping for a total of $555 per shipment. They started paying for the livers and thymuses at, is it thymuses or thymi? I'm not sure. But there was a liver thymus set, $580, and then it was bumped up to $685. And this is the worst part of it. There's a January 1st, 2013 fees for services schedule provided by ABR to the FDA. It includes, the document reads as follows: fetal cadaverous procurement service fee, second trimester D&E, dilation and evacuation abortion, 13 to 24 weeks. So as much as 6 weeks, 6 months gestation. Per specimen, $275. First trimester aspiration abortion, per specimen, $515. Intact calvarium, which is the skull, it's the baby's head, 8 to 24 weeks per specimen, $515. So they were trafficking in the heads of unborn human beings killed through abortion. See, this is the side of the abortion industry you won't hear the media talk about when they talk about the heartbeat bill in Texas or protecting babies based on their ability to feel pain, unborn babies based on their ability to feel pain in Mississippi. They traffic in the organs of the babies that are killed through abortion. Organs. So this isn't a clump of cells. These are organs. Your tax dollars. And there's special processing, preservation requirements, cleaning, snap freezing, and dry ice. They sent this material on dry ice. So it just goes on and on like this. This is a statement of need. This is the basis for the reason. This is the reason for the material they were taking, the human beings they were chopping up. The humanized mice are created by surgical implantations of human tissue into mice that have multiple genetic mutations that block the development of the mouse immune system at a very early stage. The absence of the mouse immune system allows human tissues to grow and develop into functional human beings. In order for the humanized mice to proceed correctly, we need to obtain fetal tissue with a specific set of specialized characteristics. And so, the records detail, it's the banality of evil, as has been said before. And the documents also detail the government requirements for handling this. And, as I said in our release, chopping up aborted human beings for their organs and tissue is a moral and legal outrage. The issue should be front and center in any debate about America's barbaric abortion industry. So we began uncovering this material actually in February of 2020, where we found receipts for these organs, credit card receipts. And then just earlier this year, it was just last month, we uncovered that the University of Pittsburgh was being designated and funded to the tune of $3 million by the NIH and FDA, et cetera, Fauci's operation too, as a one-stop fetal organ chop shop. I mean, from abortion to research, all within one location. Talking about having a buzzsaw on location. That was one of the documents, what they showed. This is just a nightmare. I keep on telling you, I've told you before, and I'll say it again, I've been doing this work at Judicial Watch for nearly a quarter decade. And this set of documents related to fetal tissue research and the use of fetal organs for research and the way they treat and desecrate these bodies, it's the worst material I've ever read in my life as it relates to Judicial Watch's work in terms of government documents. And the Biden administration is turned this spigot back on, according to reports. The Trump administration, to its credit, shut it down in 2018. And I was just talking to a reporter earlier, and the FDA was defending the research for vaccines. So the Biden FDA is defending this research because of vaccines. So put that in your pipe and smoke it when it comes to debates on vaccines and such. You had the Biden FDA defending it. This is what they want to be able to use it for. And I saw that last year when COVID emerged, that the gang that was involved in this research was trying to get it going again using COVID as a pretext. And sure enough, the Biden administration is coming right along, given with their pro-abortion fanaticism. So this is awful stuff. And I'm not quite sure if we're getting more material here, but this is something you need to be talking about with your elected representatives. And it's something that's gotten a lot of attention. This is, I know here in DC, it's considered a side issue, because DC hates abortion. They hate dealing with abortion. But I know regular Americans are very concerned about it. And I know the grassroots is concerned about it. And I know it's a big issue for just normal people who follow politics, because there's a lot of noise that happens in our nation's public policy discussions. But what gets people attention is, wait, they're using baby parts to fund you do research on humanized mice? It sounds like Frankenstein. Yeah, it does. And we have confirmation from the Biden administration that this research is useful for vaccines. Well, I don't know about you, but that's not appropriate. I don't even think it's true in the sense that it's necessary for vaccines, but it's certainly not morally appropriate. In fact, it's barbarism.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.